Yes, 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 yes. Let's do it. 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 You already know who it is. Your boy, best bitch, back in this bitch trying to get active on trade the agent. Excited to be here. With some excellent trading going on off up in this bitch lately. Um, been getting active. Got a weekend analysis coming up this weekend. You know, looking at AU, GJ, GU, NU, UJ, gold, and a little bit on that BTC. Um, yeah, for the most part on AU. Definitely looking for continuation to the downside. We big bearish on the higher time frames. When you bust down to the lower time frames, um, so I like to have my charts already analyzed before I come to the screens. To the streams, I'm just kidding. Simply because when I look at this and I'm trying to record live, for some reason, these levels don't hit the same way when I'm trying to talk to y'all and I'm trying to explain it versus when I already got it lined out. So coming from the higher time frames on down, we'll go ahead and blank everything. What we're looking at is higher time frame is big bearish, big bearish coming to the downside. We have support right around over here. For me, the support area was the target as price action continues to come into this level. Now that we have reached that level, potentially what we're looking for is to see, do we get any retracements from this area, or do we continue to just push big bearishly through that level and come down to the next support area? It's real simple. Since we are starting the last quarter of the year and a new month, Octoberish, what we can see is those levels on the monthly don't exist. So, you know, potentially just reaction levels as you read it from a weekly time frame perspective. But overall, from the monthly time frame, what we're looking at is price action come all the way down here to the support level and even fill this wick or a good probably approximately about 50% of that wick before returning back bullish. Or if we just continue to keep going bearish, then that Johnny gonna leak. What I did notice is I switched over from Owanda brokerage feed, whatever you want to call it, to FXCM. And it does give you a little bit more data when you're trying to look left as far as price action. So for the most part, like we can see right over here, as price action was big bullish, making higher highs and higher lows. We came down to the most recent higher low, and we came and rested at that support area for the most part, and then pushed back, for something like a retracement type deal. Um, so as we read, we got the high, low, higher, high, or we can just say high, low, higher, high, potentially new higher low, not necessarily, but we closed right at that same area, wicking through, grabbing liquidity, even came back, let me see, all the way back down here. But overall, current price action is bearish. Reading price action from the left, it does look like we may continue to go bearish, but we are yet to see that happen so far. So we just for the most part are going to continue to play the structure to the downside. Let price action continue to be bearish. From a monthly time frame, we got targets right down here. What his wick is / support level is. When you go down to the weekly, as I was just saying a couple minutes ago, you're able to see those levels. Oh, this FXCM. I'm gonna say, what up? Because my analysis at go back to the Owanda chart, but we can see those weekly levels before we get down to that wick field that we're looking for way down here. Now, from where price action is right now, if we don't see any retracements, I'm expecting it to come down into this 59,917, potentially, to get that next big bullish reaction. But yeah, overall price action just swooping to the downside. Dollar strength is just everybody else up and just, just dragging all these charts to the downside. When you go ahead and blink that thing, you look at it from a daily time frame perspective. What we got here is high, low, lower, high, lower, low. This is the last lower high area on the daily that's significant for me. This is what causes a structural break as you look left. 4 hour level structural break right over here as you look left. So when you go down to the lower time frames, 4 hours, so on and so forth, this right here will be that daily level, broke the structure, 4 hour level that broke, continue to break structure. So what we're looking for is we see price action came down and finally found some type of support right down here. Now, since last week's price action did cause a break of structure to the top side on a 1 hour chart, we did close bullishly. So if this current price action where we are now, if we don't break this low Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, then I would not be surprised to see big bullish price action for more of a deeper retracement within this 4 hourly range. Now, if we close above this 1 hour resistance I got identified here, let me put a price point for all the people in the back. No, right here. 66, 690, somewhere up in this area right here. We start closing back above there. We definitely can expect price action to potentially pull deeper within this 4 hourly range. Got a little level right up here of supply that hasn't been retested, and definitely we could potentially see the sales resume back bearish from way up here. But that's just a lot of speculation and looking into the future. What we need to be doing is focusing on the current price action, what price action is doing. Currently, we're making lower lows and lower highs based off of the 4 hourly range. This is your lower high that created your new lower low. You got a big ass range right up in here to potentially get active. What you need to do next is identify where you can potentially get active from. So right here was the structure most recently broken. Right here does not necessarily need to be identified, but for me, I just wanted to mark it up for people who are watching this video just to see where I'm coming from with this analysis. So we got the high, the low, because we broke the structure. So low, lower high, lower low. This is the new lower lower low because we broke the structure right over here. And then you just continue to keep following that format. So the 1 hour resistance that broke the structural point right here was right up here that sent us into the lows. Now from here, like I said, I potentially could have the 1 hour resistance or 1 hour support identified right down here, but it's in the same exact area as the 4 hour support. So for me, I don't need to analyze or mark anything else down here towards the bottom because I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for to see if price action breaks this low first. If it does, then I'll continue to resume my continuation shorts to the downside, down to that 59,900 area or that 60 flat area, psychological level, or because I know in the past when we've seen price action break structure on a 1 hour chart, we do get deeper retracements back within this 4 hourly range. So like I said, tonight, if we don't open up and break these, Monday night, if we don't open up and break these, then definitely looking to see how price action could retrace back some more. And this what would confirm a deeper retracement back within this 4 hour resistance would be closed above these most recent highs right up here. So when you push down to that hourly, come on down to the R, we can see price action continue to make lower lows and lower highs. Got that big pullback, breaking above structure here, breaking above structure here. And then we retraced, but did not break below this little demand zone slash lower low that sent us into the high. So coming into the weekend, coming into the week, I'm looking to see how price action reacts within this 15-minute range. These two red boxes here. Could see a potential of dipping down into this little demand zone right down here in the lower time frames and then scooting back up. But like I said, it's all speculation right now. We're just sitting back and waiting to see what price action is going to do. Ultimately, we got the high, potentially a new higher low to push us back higher. Potentially there is an imbalance or supply level way up here, but I think it might take us a good little minute, a good little while, plus some USD weakness to get even close way back here. This is at 0.69, even psychological level. We way down at 0.64. So a good bit amount of pivot to the top side if it continues, if it does retrace and pull back higher. Otherwise, we're gonna do continuation shorts to the downside. Go back. Switching over to GJ. GJ, let me see. Best ways to explain my man's GJ. Looking over at GJ, we did previous analysis, identify this area as a higher time frame consolidation area. What we have recently seen is price action push up, grab some liquidity, tap back into a supply area, and then leak to the downside. Look at this big ass wick. That wick by itself, man, is like, let me see, 500 of them things just on the wick, bro. 500 of them things. So going into the last quarter of the year, what we can see is these ranges are expanding tremendously. All you need is one trade to take you where you trying to go. Then you get beefy on them boys like that, and then you just take off the market, baby. You just get these pips. I'll be so excited to catch the pips, baby. The pips. Let me get some. But overall, looking at GJ, I guess we can be considered bearish. I ain't 100% sure. Um, Looking at the previous demand zone that pushed us into supply, we came back and we went below all that. So for me, the way I would look at GJ is potentially being bearish supply that pushes into demand. We got the reaction. We did close above structure, so we have done that deep retracement. This is what we're looking for on AU. Once price action starts closing above 1 hour structure, look for that deep retracement. This being the 1 hour structure with the high, low, lower, high, lower, low, potential new lower high that failed to create the new lower low, pulled back and started closing above. So now with that 4 hour range, the high being up here and the low being way down here. This is what I'm trying to outline on AU, is that once we close above that 1 hour resistance, we usually expect a deeper retracement back into a 4 hour resistance. Then we break above there, then we look all the way back to daily resistance. So, you know, kind of like what we outlined right over here. We close above here, then we looking to push back higher within that 4 hour resistance. So back over to GJ. Yeah. So coming from the weekend analysis, what we will be looking for is to see, does price action continue to push bully, fill retest a little supply area we got identified on the 1 hour chart right up here, and then crash, or do, since we kind of did shift a little bit, breaking structure right here on Friday, do we just get like a little wick above, grab liquidity from here, and then start to leak? So as the market open, definitely we'll be looking to see if we close strongly above this 1 hour resistance. And we're gonna put a little price point for all the people in the back. We got possible buys, meaning breakout buys. We do not want to take a break in a retest trade from this level, seeing as how we are considering price action to be overall bearish. Um, yeah, so breakout buys, pip and dip situation in and out from this 1 hour resistance back into that 4 hour resistance. You got 200 of them things. So you got plenty of room to get active. No need to rush, no need to catch FOMO. And then if it only comes up to fill the retested supply that sends us into the lows, then you're looking at a 100 pip range. So either way, you got a big ass range to get active. No need to rush, no need to catch FOMO. Catch you a higher low off the lower time frame, 15 minute, 5 minute, 1 minute, 30 minute, and get active. But be careful because we think we counter trend. We think we are bearish on the higher time frame, counter trend bullish on the lower time frame. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting week. It's gonna be an interesting last quarter too. Um, third quarter, I some up. First and second quarter, I was like, pretty break even. Third quarter, I tapped into some new information on the web, looking at some different trading ideas, and she just took off for me. I've always been able to know how to identify structure. One of my biggest issues was figuring out why price action does what it does at its structure points. So now that I've kind of figured out and done a little bit of research and learned a little bit more why price action does what it does at its structural points, I've been a lot more profitable. I've taken a lot less trades as well. I've taken a lot less trades simply because where I'm getting in at, them bitches just going in the wind, just free breeze, just doing what they need to do. And I'm like, ooh, I don't need to get in again. It's still running. Whereas usually I catch a couple pips, price action turn around, stop me out, and then continue to go where I wanted to go. And that's what drove me to start doing more research. Cause I'm like, man, I get in during the Asian, I have the direction right. I get wicked out during the London, and then price action continues throughout the London, hit my TP, and then by the time we get to the New York session, we retracing or doing whatever. You know the pattern of how the market moves. I do anyways, but yeah, that's what it's been doing. I gotta get out of that. So I started looking around, started researching, started reading, and I like boom, figured it out. Got it. Now let's see what we're gonna do. But yeah, so when the market opens, we need to see a clear closure above this 1 hour resistance. Take these breakout longs, pip and dip type style, back into 163.313. And then if he goes deeper into that 4 hour resistance, potentially you could have, let the runner run. But ultimately, I think we are turning bearish on GBP JPY. Not 100% sure. I'm probably about 60-40 on it, 60% bearish, 40% bullish, especially if we break and disrespect this level is 4 hour resistance right up here, just high, higher low, higher high, and then continue to break above the bullish continuation zone. At that point, I will look for breaking continuation trades above 68, 179. I know that is a far way away. I don't trade GJ that often, so it could be a situation to where I click back over and price action way up here, given a retest, and I would probably take buys above this level. But it all depends. I would need to see how price action got there. I would see how it responded once it got there. And I'll also need to clearly identify the levels looking left to see if it's going to be a high probability trade for price action continue to go bullish. Picking over to GU. And that's another thing I want to talk about. When you look at GU weekly time frame or one the chart, you go looking left. Price action cuts off on at 2003. But if I switch over to somebody like FXCM, right over here where it says Awana, switch over to FXCM, we get price action all the way back to like the 1990s. So looking at or creating these chart analysis I like Owanda a lot better because there's less gaps. But when you opened up, oh, one second, I like Owanda a lot better because there are less gaps within their feed. But when you look at USD on FXCM, oh no, that's not what I meant to do. Take me off. Yeah, FXCM. What you see is there are more gaps, but it does give you more data looking left. So you are able to identify different areas within the market to see where price action is going slash where it came from. But just checking back to the analysis, what we do see is we big bearish. Let me see, do we identify a target? Nope, not on this chart because there aren't any levels looking left. So that's why I kind of was, referring to a minute ago. Right here, what we can see, we got a supply that pushes down into demand. We got the reaction on the daily. We got a 4-hour resistance right up in here. We close above there. We could be looking for a continuation buy. So at this point, break and retest. Simply because we would have broken several levels of structure, but overall bearish. Um, in order for me to consider price action continuing bullish, I would need to see price action close above, heavily above these levels looking left, come back and retest, maintain above this level, and then continue back to the top side. But since we are bearish, I'm looking for the best possible selling opportunity. That higher time frame supply pushes into demand. We currently have closed above 1 hour structure. So, like I said on the other charts, we expect a deeper retracement back into 4 hour resistance. We do have some unretested supply right up in here that sends us into the low, so we could see price action continue to pull all the way back. For me, if I'm looking to see, I want to see price action correctively get back in there instead of just impulsively. When I say corrective, I'm talking about push, pull back, push, pull back, push, pull back versus impulsively these big ass candles into that level. If we do get these big ass candles into that level, uh, yeah, you're gonna have to go back to the drawing board and just wait and see because that could potentially mean that there be more bullish influence in the market at that point versus bearish influence. But um, at this point, we're looking to see how we get up out of this little range we stuck in right now. Like I said on what was that AU, we did close. That wasn't AU, was that GJ? One of them ones. On a 1 hour chart, we can see price action has closed below structure. So we're looking to see if we close above this 1 hour structure. If we do, then we potentially could be looking for buys back into this 4 hours. This is untested supply right over here. Pretty big range here as well. Like I said, third quarter has increased the ranges for the fourth quarter, and we could potentially make some big differences. Look at that, 444 of them things. If you can't get active within a 444 pip range, then you need to come holler at your boy for some personal sessions. I can show you how to do it one-on-one style. And then, yeah, that could be it. But all this right here is the free 99. So I'm gonna give you the broad base perspective of it. It's a free 99 version. But yeah, so we're looking to see if we're gonna get some continuation buys back into this 4 hour resistance. If not, we start breaking below structure on the 15-minute chart, then we definitely could look to see how we can start coming back into some of these lows we most recently broke. Ultimately, what I think, I'm gonna get a little diagram now. This is just from having experience watching the market how it play out. Definitely could see a little something like this happening. Pull back, come back in that level again, leak, something like that. To run throughout the week. Not 100% positive on this little setup right here, but I could see something like that happening. Yeah, most definitely, especially if we big burst on a high time frame. So you heard it here first. Your boy Professor P giving y'all the gas. If it does set up like this, your boy will get active accordingly. If it don't, and we just continue to break resistance, you continue to spike up over there, yeah, I will hip and dip that thing to the top side. Like I will not be afraid of the buys. I'm not as afraid. If you don't want to be afraid, holla at you. Show you how not to be afraid. Looking over the NU. NU looks virtually identical to AU. Like I said on AU, looking to see if price action closed below this low demand. That gave us this big bullish reaction that broke above structure here. If we do, then we continue to pip and dip all the way to the downside. We do have a little imbalance fill right down here. This 509, 5,900 level. Hold on one second. All right, little baby, hold on. I'll be right back with this now. I gotta go get my youngin from outside. Hold on. All right, well, I'll be out in a minute. I'm almost finished with my video. Hello? Oh, damn, I thought I was on pause. My bad, y'all. All right, but looking at NU, um, yeah, we broke above structure on the hourly. We're giving this big, deep retracement. If we don't break above or break below this 4 hour support here, definitely expecting a deeper retracement. Back into this 4 hour resistance right up here. If we do break below, we got an imbalance field around this 50,900 60 flat level. That I'm looking for price action to smack into next. Looking from a higher time frame perspective, my original targets have been met. We have come into that area and then started to, bounce around, give bullish reaction, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, if we continue to make lower lows and lower highs, then we're gonna just follow that structure and continue to get active to the downside, making lower lows and lower highs. If we go back bullish and aggressively pull back, then we can get active that way too. But overall, bearish. Should be looking for the shorts. Find you the best short scenario possibility and get active. UJ funky, man. I don't really like UJ structure because we overall consolidating all the way back from September the 4th. We came back down, tapped into this little imbalance right down here, gave a big bullish reaction to the top side, but we did not break the high just yet. Now we are starting a new month. NFP, whole bunch of news is going to start to roll back around at the beginning of the month. Like I said, new quarter. So what I can see here, we did break structure on the hourly. So like I've been saying the whole video, once we break on the hour, we're looking for deeper retracement. So these levels right up here are not as significant as the ones right down here, but current price action, that's what I'm identifying. We closed below structure on the hourly, came and retrace, did not break highs. I could see price action wake up and retest this little supply that gave us this big reaction to the downside, but overall, higher time frames, we are bullish. So don't get cooked trying to pick tops. We just reacting off what the market gives us. Yes. But if we do continue to go bullish, we got a target area right up here at 147.071 area. Good bit amount of pippage away. We want to put some number to it. Nothing exact, but something like this. You're looking at 200 pip range all the way back up there to where we try and get active to. So if it works, it works. If it doesn't, my friend, then we look to the downside to get active, my friend. Right here, stuck in this little 15-minute range. So as the weekend or as the week opens, we'll be looking to see how we get out of this range. Grab some stops, go back higher, go up, grab some stops, go back lower. It all depends on what price actually wants to do. We will be monitoring UJ throughout the week to see what's going to happen. But overall bullish, kind of stuck within a consolidation range. lower time frames, I guess have resumed back bullish, but we are failing to break that last high. But then the market right back over here. Well, I wouldn't even say failing. We just haven't broke it yet. So it is what it is. Pushing over the gold. Gold was a little bit difficult to mark up soon because when you come out to the weekly and you just blink everything, what you see is price action is big bullish. Higher highs and higher lows. Most recent high broken, came back, gave you retracement, gave you a new high, retraced again, gave you equal highs, and then started coming back down. If I wasn't reading higher highs and higher lows, normally I would say high, potential new higher low failed to create, and now we're breaking structure to back to the downside, so we could be bearish from this point. But from this perspective, the range is from this low until this high, so this could just be a retracement move to kick us back bullish, or we could be starting to trend reversal, but I wouldn't consider trend reversal until we start breaking some of these low structural points that send us into the high. So that's why I say gold is a little bit difficult to analyze for me, just because I don't follow it that often. Also, am struggling with the structure on it a little bit, just because I don't know which one is the most significant ones. If I identify it just as the swing points, then the ranges get significantly wider, and it's like, you could play it that way, but you also could get cooked that way, the same way you could by making the ranges too small. So, um, this is my best analysis, I guess, on gold. So the demand area that pushed you into supply came back to retest, did not fail to break this high, and then started breaking structural points looking left, making lower lows and lower highs. So, like I said, overall, higher time frames are bullish, but current price action somewhat lining up to be bearish for me on gold. Let me see what we got going on here. Okay, so that's in the wrong spot. And then we need what's the weekly? No wonder. All right, yeah. We get to that. October. Okay, yeah. So with current price action being bearish, breaking structure to the left, we kind of just said, okay, well, if the demand is down here, we came up, we broke structure to the downside, creating that 4-hour support that pushed us into the highs. So this could be our first target area if we do take continuation shorts back into this little 4-hour level here. Following current price action with the high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, creating that new lower low. So potentially this week we could be looking for that retracement of this 1-hour range from the high to the low point before getting active coming into this 4-hour support. So that's what I'll be looking for on gold. Not 100% on this analysis at all. So if you follow gold and you know somebody else who gets active consistently on gold and they got a great analysis on it, because mine is just speculative at this point, just identifying the support and resistance levels and just trying to see um, what price action is actually doing. Like I said, I know current price action big bear. So what I would be looking for is to see how we get out of this. We could call it a 15-minute range, the bottom being right down here, the same area as this 1-hour support. So then there's identify the bottom. But if we break above here, then potentially definitely could see price action pulling back to here before leaking to the downside. And then another spot I see we could potentially pull all the way back to untested. Um, mm, yeah, something like way back up in here. So if we continue to definitely close above all these areas, continue to make higher highs and higher lows throughout this week, throughout the remaining of the year, quarter, session, however you want to look at it, then we could say that gold is resuming back into its bullish manner, bullish nature, and then going to come all the way back up to retest this untested supply around about that 20,000 level, 2,000 level, say 20,000, but 2,000 level. Yeah, with the dollar being so strong, might be tough titties. But outside of that, we're just sitting back and waiting. BTC. Now I said I wasn't with BTC no more. But I did see a little selling opportunity. I called out on my group. Looking for I had lower time frames being bullish. I did see equal lows right down here, and then I did see an area where price action could come back to retrace to before resuming back bullish. I did hop into some shorts that right over here last night. What I did was identify my agent open. Okay, get the chart opened up a little bit for you. Just strictly trading based off of the Asian session. I identified my agent open. I saw we created a high point, came down, created a low, came back to retest that high. I didn't necessarily break it, so I took shorts from like right over here, somewhere up in here. And I had stops at 19,400. I got wicked out by the spread. We never did smack 19,400, but or did we? Let me see. Let me get it lined up. 19,400. I had 19,400 even. So maybe we did. Maybe I didn't get smacked by the spread. Maybe we did come up and smack 19,400 even. Let me see. That's why I had the stops at. Just because I wasn't really trusting Bitcoin, thinking that if we got back up to that point, it was potentially going to continue to go higher. But like I've always said, if you watch any of my old videos, Bitcoin always likes to manipulate before it moves. I did not calculate the manipulation into my stop loss because I wasn't trying to give Bitcoin too many chances to wreck, anything that I've made or done within these last few weeks. So tight stops on Bitcoin for me, either way. But it did get smacked out and it did push uh into profits. Let me see, about 27 of them things. So yeah. And now we currently coming back down. Could have taken this re-entry, but I just don't believe in Bitcoin like that. Because at this point, I don't, for me, as a point of understanding, like I don't know what's causing it to move. I know people around my way where I stay at ain't got no coins to be investing in Bitcoin. I don't know how people lining up from where you at. So in the back of my mind, it's like, ain't nobody buying this shit. What's gonna make it go up? I can see why it could go down because everybody's selling off. I'm still holding on to cryptos. The biggest amount being in XRP. I got some Ethereum. I got some XLM. I got a hell of a lot of crypto or CRO coins. So I'm still holding on to some of the cryptos myself soon because at this point, it's like if they go broke, then I'm going broke too. If they pick up and take back off, then I'm gonna be right there with them. It's too late to sell for me. A lot of my stuff I did have staked, so at the time when it was up high, I couldn't get out because I staked it from the bottom when we was low when I got in that. So once it started back dropping, yeah, I was like, well, shit, they gonna have to go belly up for me to sell. Everything gonna have to be in red on my terminal when I go look at my crypto exchange for me to be like, yeah, it's time to get out. Because outside of that, then it's just a waste of time for me. So just holding on to what I got as far as cryptos. Looking for BTC to come back down, grab this liquidity before resuming back bullish. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, I'm out of this sell position right here. So, but overall, definitely think we have some good opportunity to get active. A lot of it will be based off of what price action does once it opens up finally for the week. I can make some determinations based off of where I see price action going. Certain levels get hit, and then I'll be more inclined to say exactly. Oh, my bad. I'll be more inclined to say what I think price action is going to do throughout the remainder of the week. So, not 100% sure if we'll be looking for too much tonight. Unless we do some quick moves, tap into this little demand right down here, and then resume back bullish. Potentially, you'll look for that, but if that don't set up, then we just want to wait. Yeah. Aside of that, I know it's been a quick one. The game is about to come back on, so your boy about to get back on the couch and finish watching them footballs for the week. But that's all I got for this one. Not a lot of pairs here lately, just because I've really been honed in and locked in on AU. If I see something on the other pairs, then yeah, I will get active. If you got a question about other pairs, then yeah, I will get active. But outside of that, I'm gonna stick to the basics because the basics is taking me where I want to be. Like it ain't, things are looking up at this point, and I'm enjoying it. So I don't see a reason for me to switch up and go analyze all them other ass pairs, especially if ain't nobody asking for it. So if you got a pair that your boy ain't analyzing, and you want your boy to analyze it, hit them comments. Drop your mama phone number in there. I'll get back to you a little bit. I'm just playing. But that's all I got for this one. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time coming and check your boy out. Like and subscribe. Tell your cousin and them about me. I'm out of there. Peace.